Welcome into the Pacelli Coach Show live from the Beck Center. I'm Thrift Behringer, and we are doing volleyball. And why not? We are in the heart of volleyball championship season, and we are now here with a player who's on the best volleyball team in our area. It's not even close. One of the #1 ranked teams in the entire state, all classifications, the #1 team in the GIAA. I am with senior middle hitter or middle blocker. She can do all things. Her name is Caroline Hilton. Thank you so much for joining us.
Of course.
All right, let's go ahead and get into it. You've been here your whole high school career. Let's first start like I asked Jason Nelson last week. What does it mean to eventually graduate from Pacelli and being here your whole high school career?
It means a ton. Pacelli's been so special to me. It's developed me into the person who I am today, especially the volleyball team. I've been taught many life lessons, and it's just really have grown my character, and I really appreciate everyone who's been in my life to do that for me at Pacelli.
She was the Alex Quinney All-State Player of the Game. That was the first time I actually met you when I gave you that plaque about a week ago. But let's talk about your relationship with Coach Jillian, okay? Because she has turned this program around into an afterthought to now a powerhouse. What has she meant to you in your career, and why has she been such a special coach?
She's been so special to me because she's the one who brought me into the sport, and then she's always believed in me,
Awesome.
like, no matter what. Like, when I started, I was offered me to take me to a club team, and I ended up falling in love with the sport, and she's the one who introduced me to it and made me fall in love with it.
Okay, well, you give her credit for falling in love with the sport. Is there anyone else that you kind of looked up to when you were younger on who you wanted to play like and why you love the sport outside of Coach Jillian?
Seeing the varsity team whenever I was younger, I just thought they were amazing. And like Alyssa Scoggins, seeing her like just out of play, I was so amazing to watch her, and like her serves, it was really cool seeing her play. And I think it's just like made me want to push myself and, play the sport and like just be good at it and learn how to play the sport.
Well, if you've learned how to play the sport, you're playing it at a high level, and you also want to go play at the next level, correct? I was told you play on one of the top club teams in our area, one of the top teams in the nation, but you do want to go play college volleyball. You haven't committed yet, but that is something you want to do, correct?
Yes, that is something I would want to do.
Well, we're definitely hoping that happens. Let's talk about this year's team. All right, 27-3. It seems like every one of you girls are on the same page. The chemistry is phenomenal. What has it been like being a senior leader on a team this special that's trying to win a state championship?
Well, we all like encourage each other, and no matter how down we are, we're laughing, smiling, and I think it's really helped us to have like comebacks during games we're down, and it's just the chemistry on the team is like no other team that I've ever been on, and I'm really thankful for it.
Well, let's talk about some of your teammates. Sophia Salido, who's also a senior this year, Maddie Resnick, Shannon Menifee. Talk about these girls that you played with, and how is it like having chemistry with girls that you're so close with and friends with? Does that make it special because y'all are friends? It's not just y'all are teammates?
Yeah, it definitely does, because we're just best friends who ended up playing volleyball together, and that's what it just is, and it's so fun. It's a lot of fun.
All right, let's go back to the beginning of the year. Was state championship always the goal? Was it region championship? What was the goal starting this season? Obviously now you want to win a state championship being 27-3, but let's go back to the first practice with Coach Jillian. What was the whole mindset and the goal for this year?
The whole mindset was to just make it to the state championship game. Like, no matter the outcome, make it to that game. Since we made it to the Final Four last year, we had all the thought in our mind that we are able to make it to that game. And so that was the ultimate goal, was to make it to it.
Oh, that's awesome. And I cannot wait to see the Pacelli Vikings make it to a state championship. I do got to ask, I didn't ask Jason, but, my producer, Chris Gates, would just put me on the spot. Like, what are some of your favorite foods? What are some of your things outside of volleyball that you like to do? For the world to know who Caroline Hilton is.
Oh, I love peanut butter toast and chocolate milk. I'll eat that every single time right before I go to bed. It's so good. And then I love sleeping, of course.
Right.
I sleep in any chance I get.
Do you play any other sports other than volleyball, or is that the main sport?
I do track. I started track last year, and I really liked it. And so I think I'm going to do it again this year. I'm trying to manage that with club, see if I'm able to do that.
Okay, let's talk about the club team. What is that? That's like travel volleyball for people to understand when they hear club team, what that means.
Yeah, it's just travel volleyball. You travel, either like up to Atlanta or out of state for tournaments and get like exposure to like players who love the sport and are really like passionate about the sport.
Oh, that's awesome. You got a big playoff game coming up this week, Mount DeSales, and if you win that, you play the winner of the 8-9 game. So let's talk about what has practice been like with Coach Jillian for you, the seniors, because I know y'all are holding the expectations for the rest of the underclassmen. Like, hey, this is what we got to do to make sure we get to the state championship. How's this week been, and what are some of the things y'all been working on to get ready for Saturday?
We've been scrimmaging, and we're definitely focused on getting better, like trying to find little things that will make us better before we play in the state championship like tournament. So we've been working on just, running routes and stuff like that, trying to better ourselves. So we're come in and are really confident and play well.
All right, you've done a great job, well-spoken, doing a great job on the coaches show. I want you to look in that camera right now. I want you to tell the entire Pacelli family why they need to come out and show out on Saturday for both of your playoff matches.
Everyone definitely needs to show up just to, support us. It'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a good game, and it'll just, hopefully we'll come out with the win, and it'll be hopefully it's loud in the gym.
It definitely will be loud. 2 p.m. is the Sweet 16, and then the Elite 8 will be at 6 p.m. Caroline, thank you so much for joining us. You're an excellent senior. Hope to see you at the next level playing college volleyball, and good luck this Saturday.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk with Coach Jillian and her miraculous way of turning this program again from something that was a little bit of an afterthought to now being one of the top programs in the area and in the state. Credit to her. We'll be right back after this.
Are you looking for a great deal on a powerful new Chevrolet or GMC full-size truck? Check them out. Chevy Silverado and GMC Sierra side by side at Glenn Smith in Opelika, Alabama. Take your choice. A brand new 2024 Chevrolet and GMC 1500 trucks, discounted up to $15,000 off, or 0% financing. Plus, no payments till next year. Here at Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika.
Get ready to smile.
Georgia Alabama Sports Live is proud to partner with one of our presenting sponsors, Buffalo Rock. And without this partnership, it would be hard to be able to live stream all the different sporting events at high schools, colleges, and local professional teams every single week like we do. So we thank Buffalo Rock for their support of Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And next time you're watching a Georgia Alabama Sports Live broadcast, make sure you're drinking a nice, refreshing Pepsi. Delicious. Thank you to Buffalo Rock and Pepsi. Football is back, and the only thing that makes it better is some delicious food from Zaxby's. They're a proud sponsor of Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And I can tell you that everyone on this team loves their chicken. Get all the favorites, such as their signature chicken sandwich, or try the new chicken finger tacos with your favorite drink. From amazing salads, wings, chicken fingers, and some of the best drinks around, there isn't a better way to enjoy our broadcast without getting some fantastic meals from Zaxby's. Check out the two here in Phoenix City, one off Crawford Road and the other on US 80. Thank you again to Zaxby's for sponsoring Georgia Alabama Sports Live, and make sure you call them for all your catering and tailgating needs this football season. Welcome back here to the Pacelli Coaches Show on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, presented by the Beck Center, and we are in the fabulous Beck Center, and I am with the Lady of the Hour, Coach Jillian, who has turned this program into a powerhouse in the state of Georgia, 27-3. Coach, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, like I said, and like I've done many times on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, I want you to kind of tell your story, okay? I can ask a million questions, but I think you tell your story better than anyone else. So really, I want everyone to know, and Pacelli family, not just the Pacelli family, but everyone around the area, what got you involved in volleyball? Where did you play? How did you even lead up to getting the job here at Pacelli?
Well, I started off in 7th grade, and it was bad volleyball. It was underhand volleyball. We rotated in a circle. Nobody knew what they were doing. It was the shop teacher. And then the high school coach came and recruited me and said, you should play volleyball. And so I ended up playing volleyball. And then my senior year, I decided to go and play college.
Awesome.
And so I played at University of Michigan Dearborn. And my first year there, I'm a middle hitter. And the other middle hitter was like, hey, I need a coach to help me. And I was a business major. And I was like, oh, not me. I'm not coaching. Like, I'm not teaching kids something I already know.
Right.
And I was dead set against it. And she's like, no, really, I need somebody. And I'm like, well, if you can't find somebody, I'll do it. And so I went and coached this 8th grade volleyball team. And like 3 days in, I changed my major to education because I was like, this is it. I love this.
Right.
And so I started coaching then. I was 18 years old. And
Wow.
I loved it. I had so much fun. And then we moved down here, you know, I had kids, I didn't coach for a couple years, and then my kids wanted to start playing volleyball, and so I'm like, okay, I'll get back into it.
Now I got to invest into it.
Here I am.
Right. Oh, that's awesome. And, you know, what you've done here at Pacelli has been kind of miraculous. You've turned a program that has been competitive but never really in contender status, now being the top team in the state. You know, this is year 4, year 3 as the head coach. So talk about how that building the culture, laying the foundation, having your girls say, you know what, it not just giving your best effort, we actually want to win games. How long did that take, and how hard was that to establish that culture?
So it was really hard to come in and change a whole program that they just played to play, and I was serious about volleyball, and I am somebody who does not like to lose.
Yes.
And so like a loss to me is like being kicked in the stomach. And so teaching them, trying to like bring them to my side of like, this is, you don't want to lose. Like you want to be the best you can be. What's the point of practicing every day if you're not going to be the best?
Right.
And so I lost a lot of people doing this, and a lot of people chose not to play. But like the core group that stuck with it are the current team that is #1 in the GIAA. And so it was a lot of work to turn it over because not everybody was on board. And I feel like now they'll look at it and be like, yeah, that was like, I know some players are like, I just wanted to quit, but they kept going. So.
Right. And being hard-nosed, and that's one of the reasons why now you're in position to win a state championship. So again,
Correct.
credit to you, and you've done an absolutely fantastic job with your program. Let's talk about some of those players like Caroline Hilton, like Sophia Salido. Talk about what they've meant to be with you from the very beginning to now 27-3,
Yes.
first place
Yes.
and #1 seed in the GIAA.
So ironically, like Caroline and Hadley were the 2 players who played for me for middle school at a different school, and they were terrible. It was horrible. Like it was bad volleyball. And they did see what good volleyball was, and they were committed to change. And so when we came to Pacelli, Caroline and Hadley have been playing since 6th grade together. And
Right.
so that chemistry we kind of brought into Pacelli, and then brought everybody else in, like the Shannons and the Sophia and
Right.
Anna Doe, who's the best setter in the area. And so like just getting them to buy into the chemistry that Hadley and Caroline already had.
Right.
And now it's like they're definitely a family.
Let's talk about the fact that you actually have family members on the team. You have your 2 daughters. How is that coaching them? Because I always am interested with coaches, like you're not mom or dad on the court, you're Coach Jillian. So how has that been? I feel like they're on the same page with you, but kind of for the viewing audience, how hard has that been initially?
It's been the hardest thing I've ever done.
Oh, wow.
It has. And we started off right away, like the rule is you do not call me mom. It is Coach Jillian, like same as everybody else.
Right.
And if you ask any player on the team who I'm most hard on, it is my own kids. They have to run the most. Like I just hold them to a higher standard
Right.
than everyone else. And I tell them this because I'm like, everybody's looking at you. You don't want to be like everyone thinking that you're getting this playing time because I'm your mom.
Right.
And so they have to work 10 times harder than everyone else.
Yeah. Well, again, it's really impressive to see that. And let's talk about this year's team. Me and you were talking a little bit off air. You scheduled a lot of tough games. I'm talking about the top programs around the state. You traveled, and you knew your record may not be indicative of how good you are because you were just trying to get better until the end of the season for that state championship. But the fact is, you're 27-3, Coach Jillian.
Yes.
Talk about what that means to you. At the end of the regular season, you only had 3 match losses.
And that is huge because I did tell the team this season, like this year is about playing hard teams, and we're not going to have a winning record. and they have proved me wrong. But we played Alpharetta, who's #1 in the state and #4 in the country.
Wow.
We played these teams that really challenged them, and I think since we played #4 in the nation kind of team, they know that they can succeed against any other team. And so it has really picked up their play. And I mean, 27-3, I was shocked by how well they just continued to do.
Right.
And they're, I mean, it's not only our players on the court. Our bench is amazing. I don't know, like if anyone comes to our game, like nobody likes to play Pacelli because we're so obnoxious.
Yeah,
and it's great.
That's what I'm saying, but I love that. And let's talk about your assistant coaches because they're in with that, getting the bench fired up. I was watching it when we were doing the Shaw game, and I was like, man, that's why I asked about the chemistry. Everybody's cheering on everyone. Everybody wants someone to do good. You don't have, sometimes this happens with teams, that person on the end of the bench is like, they want their shine, they want someone to kind of mess up. I'm not getting that vibe from your team.
We are very strict with what we tolerate, and it is all team all the time. And my 2 assistant coaches both played for me, and so they knew my standards. And so I'm happy to have them there and encouraging the girls. And my 1 assistant coach is Alyssa Scoggins, who Caroline referred to watching her as a senior, and she thought she was so good, and like, I'll never be that good, and now Caroline is the Alyssa Scoggins. So it is awesome to have them, and like that's, at the end of the day, that's my goal. I want these kids to come back and want to coach with me and want to create the specialness that we have with other kids.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And Pacelli, they won a lot of state championships, and they're looking to add volleyball here in these last couple of years. I'm telling you, the winning is at an all-time high, and it's all sports. And it starts, again, with coaches like Coach Jillian. All right, this whole week, what has been the preparation? I asked Caroline the same thing. You got Mount DeSales, and then you play the winner of the 8-9 matchup at 6 o'clock if you do beat Mount DeSales, the 16 seed. So I know you're the type, you don't want to overlook anyone. That 16 doesn't matter. You can get beat. So what's been the message to your team?
So I have told them that we have done everything we can do. Like, we have trained so hard all summer, all year, like we have put the work in. And so now I'm just trying to make it a little fun and different. Today we had 3 boys come and join the practice.
Okay.
And they provided a block and hitting that my girls typically don't see, which prepares them. Like, every time my girls were hitting today, they were hitting to this giant block of boys. And so that has, like, I don't know, it's just created excitement for them of something different. And tomorrow for practice, we're going to play pickleball. It's just trying to keep them not burnt out after, like, high school volleyball is every day, like every single day. And it's a lot, and I demand a lot, and they have run a lot of sprints, and they just need to, like, embrace everything that they have done and have fun.
Yeah, and relax and be ready for what should be a fun Saturday. I asked Caroline, I'm going to ask you this same question. What makes Pacelli so special? Why have you loved it here? And now I just feel like you're enjoying wearing the red and blue. Why is Pacelli great?
I love Pacelli because it is a family. No matter who you are on this campus, like what sport, what you're into, everybody is so accepting and welcoming and encouraging. And that's like the big thing, is that it is encouraged to play sports, where I've been at other schools where sports are just an afterthought. And it's more important to do one thing or another. But there's some kids who live and die for sports. And so I like that they embrace the whole entire kid. And it's not just, you're just a student or just an athlete. It's the whole package.
And it's also having good front office people, like
They're
Miss Brewster, Miss Ernest, Jennifer Solito, Calvin Thomas, the AD. It seems like everybody's on the same vision, on the same team, and making sure all athletics are getting the proper exposure they deserve.
Yes, and it's even when people leave, they're still looking out for Pacelli Sports. And so it is such a great place to be, because you know you can succeed. And that's, like, for the girls, like, we are set up to succeed, and like, now it's on you to succeed. But Pacelli is about success.
Well, we're hoping that Pacelli's bringing on the hardware here. It's coming up Tuesday. So Saturday is the Sweet 16 Elite 8. Tuesday is the semifinal state championships. Coincidentally enough, I will be the play-by-play announcer for GIAA when they're streaming it for GIAA TV. So looking forward to hopefully seeing y'all there. But you got to take care of business first on Saturday. Final question, Coach Jillian. This same thing I did with Caroline. Look in that camera. I know you want to plead to all the Pacelli fans, everyone around the area to come out, show support, and make this a raucous atmosphere on Saturday.
Yes, and that is exactly what other teams hate about us, is our crowd. And we would love for everyone to come out and be super loud and super obnoxious and support the girls and help them to succeed, because it's not only the girls on the court that makes it happen, it is the crowd and the interactions. So please come and see us play.
And by the way, they have the big heads that the
Yes.
student section brings out. I love it, love that. And it's, again, 2 p.m. at the Land. Is Sweet 16. If Pacelli wins, they'll play at 6 p.m. right here at the Land. So make sure to come out, wipe your Saturday clean, and then come and watch some excellent volleyball. By the way, coming up October the 19th, go to beaviking.com. You can meet all the coaches here for Pacelli. It's a great event right here at the Beck Center. That is October the 17th. Make sure to put that on your calendar. Go to beaviking.com for more information. Coach Jillian, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And good luck on Saturday.
Thank you so much.
All right, this is Pacelli Coach Show on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, presented by the Beck Center. We'll see you next time.
Are you looking for a great deal on a powerful new Chevrolet or GMC full-size truck? Check them out. Chevy Silverado and GMC Sierras side by side at Glenn Smith in Opelika, Alabama. Take your choice. A brand new 2024 Chevrolet and GMC 1500 trucks, discounted up to $15,000 off, or 0% financing. Plus, no payments till next year. Here at Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika.
Get ready to smile.